Today, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into another foundational video, and the title of today's video is called What It's Actually Going to Take. And I thought that I would do this video because often we can get really focused on specific issues, right? Whether it's learning how to say no, relationship stuff, developing positive boundaries, right? And yet there are some key foundations that if you don't get right, can give you a lot of trouble and can really hinder your results. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a video called What It Takes. And I tell every single person I work with that at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing: disciplines. Disciplines, disciplines, disciplines. We could spend hours and hours and hours talking on the phone together. You could spend hours and hours and hours digesting these videos, reading books, doing the content. But at the end of the day, the thing that makes the most difference is your disciplines. Are you taking effective action every single day in order to cultivate the things that we're working on? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background here. One of my main reasons for doing this group is because I wanted to have a lot of foundational content for you to dive into, organized in a way where you could begin to digest it and take it on, and also put these things into practice. If you haven't noticed, the group videos and all the content are structured in a way where we talk about a concept, right? We talk about what it's like to implement it. We talk about what happens when you don't implement it. And then I always give you things to do to effectively bring those into reality. How do we cultivate this? How do we actually make this happen? What are practices? So when we start looking at what it actually takes to make changes in life, we can have theoretical conversations about everything. We could dive into all of these different concepts, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the discipline, to the practice of actually making something happen. Now, one of the things that we have talked about at length in this group is focusing on one thing at a time, right? Because when you haven't proven that you could do 2, 3, 4, 5 things at a time, what happens is that system fails and it's demoralizing, it's upsetting, and you might quit simply because your strategy of actually trying to take on practices, you took on too many practices at once. When we talk about actually cultivating something, let's use meditation, okay? We talk about cultivating a much more peaceful mind. At the end of the day, you might understand the concept, but without the discipline of sitting down in meditation, whether that's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 20, 30, an hour a day, it doesn't matter. If you don't actually sit down to do that, or if you don't go to the gym and lift a weight, you're not going to get the muscle. You're not going to get the practice. You're not going to be able to grow. So this might sound like a very, very, very simple concept, but it is probably the most important concept that there is out there when we're talking about our growth and development. Without this concept, nothing happens. Nothing moves unless you do. Like I said, very simple, but so foundational. So here's how we break this down and we put this actually into practice. In this group, we talk about a lot of different concepts, a lot of different things that can be helpful. What you can do is for 30 days, commit to one practice, whether that be meditation, whether that be self-care, whether that be working out, and only choose one thing. And then after you have chosen that thing, come up with a strategy that you can actually commit to. Is that going to be, I'm going to meditate for 2 minutes a day? Could be, right? If you can commit to that and that's actually going to be the thing that moves you forward, then that is your practice. If it's, I want to meditate for 20 minutes a day, and you can effectively string those days together, then that's your practice and you could commit to that, and that's wonderful. It's about finding something that you can actually commit to. When we are talking about disciplines, we also have to forget the judgment, right? Or the comparison. Judgment of maybe I should do more. Comparison in terms of well, maybe, this person over here is doing it for 30 minutes a day, so maybe I should be doing it for 30 minutes a day, but I can't do it for 30 minutes a day. These are both things that are actually going to really keep you from moving forward, from gaining that ground. Remember, it's about effectively stringing our disciplines together for many, many, many days in a row, and that's how we get deeper into a practice, and that's how we get the gift, okay? So, what is going to be a practice that you can engage in every single day? Doesn't matter for how long it is, it's up to you. What can you commit to engage in every single day or close to every single day that's going to help you move forward? When you figure that out, commit to it, make sure your strategy is working for you, and then the big part comes is that you have to be able to string those things together. You have to be able to actually sit down and do it. And that is just simple discipline. There are, excuse me, so many people in this world who the big difference between them being happy or successful and getting the things that they want from this life, whether that's inner peace or whether that's great relationships, it comes down to hustle, discipline. That's it. That's the key difference. It's not some book, it's not a conversation, it's not anything else but being able to sit down and engage in the disciplines every single day. If you can do that and focus on one thing at a time, your life will move tremendously. If it's undisciplined, it's going to be highly scattered and nothing will move. Remember, it's effective action every single day. It's engaging in the disciplines. Whatever those disciplines might be, it might be stretching. I don't know. This is your strategy, your disciplines, the things that are going to help you move forward into the future. So today is another foundational conversation about what it really takes to make things happen. And I tell every single person, whether I'm working with them in the group, whether we're talking together individually over the phone, I say, look, because they ask, what's the difference? Like, what's the key factors to success? It's a great question. And I say, look, all of this other stuff can be great. I can create programs for you. I can give you all the information you need. But at the end of the day, it's the people who step into the work are the ones that actually change. And the ones who resist it or don't do it, they stay stuck in the same place. And I can't force you to do it. You have to discipline yourself to do it. We live in a world where there's too many choices. There's too many options. Choose, right? Make a choice of I'm doing this. And because you have committed to that thing, it's going to set you free because you will receive the gift of actually having committed to it and put those actions into place every single day. Okay? All right. So figure out what you want to choose from for the next 30 days. Discipline yourself to do it. Practice, 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 and watch how things change. Pretty simple formula, but such an important formula.